I want to start with automakers, and really focus in on General Motors. So a number of major automakers reported lower U.S. sales to start the year, and that is due to rising gas prices, among other challenges. General Motors' first quarter sales, they fell by 9.7%. It's Cadillac Escalade and Chevrolet Suburban large SUV tumbling. Sales down 17% there. So are we seeing a pattern? People moving away from those gas-guzzling vehicles. And GM's not alone. You've got sales at Honda down 4.2%. Toyota sales slid 8.5% so far this year. And we've got shares of General Motors down about 2% at the moment. So we've got this surge in gas prices, right? It now costs 35% more to fill up your gas tank than it did before the war. Yeah. National average now $4.08. We know much higher in certain areas, like where Paul lives there in New Jersey. Also in Europe, diesel futures topping $200 in some instances. So this surge, though, in gas prices, it sort of has people wondering, do I need to buy a new car right now or a car at all? I mean, if your car's still on the road and it's doing okay, unless you absolutely need to buy one, it doesn't look like people are racing out to do that right now. And in many instances, you can find a better deal on a used car. The average price for a new car in this country is still $50,000.
Yeah, that to me is the nub of it. Is there was a beautiful Chevrolet that went by me on Fifth Avenue, and I looked at the price, and it was 30-some thousand. It was beautiful. It was made in Korea.
Yep.
It's a Chevrolet. Okay. That's how they do it.
There you go.
Next.
All right, Globalstar. This stock is up 12% today. Its one-year return, by the way, 229%.
Yeah, Sweeney.
It's got a market cap of more than $8.8 billion. So the Financial Times was reporting that Amazon is in talks to acquire a Globalstar, which is a satellite provider.
Okay.
And Amazon wants to build its own satellite operation. It's been wanting to do this for a while. It wants to deploy more than 7,700 low-orbit satellites. They want to compete with SpaceX's Starlink service to provide high-speed internet access. Now, Globalstar, they operate an older, higher-orbit system of satellites. I just learned this in reading about it.
You, Space Girl.
Yes.
Yeah, keeping with our space theme and Artemis 2 this week. So, but they focus on connecting phones and devices in areas of low coverage. But so analysts are saying the system not quite suited for the high-speed broadband that is offered by SpaceX and Starlink. Exactly right. Right. But Apple invested $1.5 billion in Globalstar a couple of years ago. They actually have a 20% stake in the company, so they may have a say in whether or not they do this deal with Amazon.
It's hers.
Yeah. All right, Airlines.
One more.
Look, airlines, you would believe that the airline stocks are taking a hit with the way we have WTI now above $112 a barrel. We know that crude affects jet fuel. Jet fuel affects prices that the airlines are charging. So Delta, United Airlines, American Airlines, each of them down 4%. And Delta in particular, TD Cowen out with a note this morning, lowering the firm's price target to 76 from 77. They're keeping their buy rating. Investors are skeptical, basically, on the resiliency of travel demand. Are people going to travel, especially take those long-haul, more expensive flights over the summer with energy prices so high? So it's a big question mark. By the way, Delta's CEO, Ed Bastian, he sent out a memo to SkyMiles members. I'm a SkyMiles member. I got this memo. Thank you very much, Mr. Bastian, thanking us for our patience during their recent partial government shutdown. Delta says security wait times have returned to normal levels. Wish the prices returned to normal levels, though.
Yeah, the prices I'm pricing are not normal levels. I'm afraid to get to the end of the process where I'm sure there's a surcharge of some type.
Well, that's the thing. Some airlines are actually calling it out and saying, here's your fuel surcharge, and others are just lopping it into the overall ticket price.